Creativity has always been a big part of my flying, particularly because often I'm flying where perhaps no one has before. I'm always imagining the possibilities. In this chapter, I reflect on the neurology of dreaming and what motivates us. It might be a bit much for a 5-minute video, but, well, I did write a book. On my post-Antarctica travels in 2014, I spent a month in Georgia, an ex-Soviet state.
From above Mestia. Okay, this is pretty nice. There's quite a bit of wind, not as much as it would appear, but there's also big clouds towards Ushguli, so I'm just having to think about whether I really want to do that. It's quite cool just cruising around here, so you can always go to Ushguli with a Jeep. But yeah, this is right in amongst it, eh? Fantastic.
I was in Georgia for 1 month and I did a lot of trips out of Tbilisi, some with the paraglider and some with the raft.
Holy crap! I'm just about to walk there. This place is crazy, man.
I'd spend time looking at the maps and thinking creatively about what I might get up to. The weather forecast would help me decide which option to choose. This was the usual modus operandi for trips in New Zealand. One thing that was really different though was the local attitudes to rubbish. They are a religious bunch. Did they not consider what they were doing to God's creation? The month before I was in France. First I was based out of a friend's place in Nice. And I was on my own most or all of the time, figuring things out, especially when I went to Corsica.
Made a move, either have to land on the screen slope or I should be able to get high enough to land on the snow slope.
Creativity is an inherent part of independent travel as you keenly observe the environment and plan your route and itinerary. A good chef understands the ingredients and knows the kitchen and creates something delicious.
How's this for a nice spot, eh?
After Corsica, it was back to the Alps.
Flying, but I've really got to concentrate on getting a climb and not looking at where the others are.
And after Georgia to the Pyrenees, it was a trip with my mates ahead of the X-pyr hike and fly race. I didn't have to see everything though, as like Kriegel, I think it's important to see things with fresh eyes.
So pretty epic. Here we are looking roughly east.
Planning doesn't work that well when the weather changes everything. I also like to take a decision that makes a good story. So just before X-pyr, I went to Prague to spend some time with Camilla the month after meeting her in Georgia.
Now another glider's caught up with me, so I was just a little disappointed that I wasn't the only one, but found out it's Duragatti now, so that makes me feel a bit better because he's a pretty good pilot. So.
Camilla had introduced me to her flatmates as a future competitor in the Red Bull X-Alps, the holy grail of hike and fly racing, even though I certainly hadn't yet decided about even putting in an application.
It's a gorgeous morning, great views of the Benice Oberland and great views of Mont Blanc. I'm seeing if I can get up this Trail Ruinettes and then deciding whether I go down the glacier.
But since X-pyr seemed to go well, at the last minute, from somewhere in the Alps, I asked her to help me put in my application.
Meanwhile, I'm in a thermal.
I did at least follow the path that makes a good story. On the other hand, I did have to wonder to myself, what was the point of joining the best pilots in the world in a competition if I would just go out on my own anyway?
And still thinking about what I should do on the way back. I've seen a couple of guys, one guy sank out.
Creativity is a high-risk game. You can invent something wonderful or it can be a disaster. Both happened in the X-Alps.
Oh my God! I made it through by 10 meters! And I had to push speed bar, it was getting stuck. I was going nowhere, I was going down, bit of speed bar, I'm through! Woo! I was yelling out for like 30 seconds non-stop. Acceleration, look at this! Pretty good day in the end. Reese Valley, Mount Clark. Now aspiring.
Big flights are great, but what is really special is to be creative and try something that no one has ever thought of before.